Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zack, and for the last week, I've been driving the 2025 Toyota Tundra SR5 with the TRD Rally Package. Up front is a 3.4-liter twin-turbo V6, and down below is a 10-speed automatic transmission. Now, I am super excited to be making this video here today because this is a new package for the Toyota Tundra, and this is on the SR5 trim level, meaning it does not have all the bells and whistles, and it's relatively moderately priced compared to its competition and comparatively to the Toyota Tacoma, which we'll be talking about quite a bit here today. But if you would like to submit your own vehicle and have it reviewed here on the channel, you can head on over to my website, zackpradel.com/submit. It's a quick and easy submission form. It takes under a minute to fill out, and I come out to you. And if you'd like to see all my videos weeks or sometimes months in advance, you can head on over to my Patreon for only $5 a month. But let's talk about the Rally Package, the TRD Rally Package. Well, that is new for the 2025 model year, and yes, it does come with the graphics, new wheels, and tires for the Tundra. I honestly could give or take these. I think the graphics look kind of cheap and make the Tundra look kind of cheap. It looks like someone stuck them on in an AutoZone parking lot, so I don't love that. However, the package actually goes deeper than that. It's an $8,600 package, and like I said, it comes with the TRD alloy wheels with all-terrain tires. It comes with the decal on the grille, front doors, tailgate. But here's the interesting part. It comes with Bilstein shocks, skid plates, mud guards, red TRD start button, TRD leather wrap shift knob, TRD leather wrap steering wheel, electronically controlled locking rear differential, multi-terrain select, crawl mode, downhill assist control, soft text trimmed 8-way adjustable power seats with yellow and orange inserts. It also comes with dual zone climate control and heated front seats. So it is a pretty good package to add onto the SR. I think it has enough necessities and enough equipment in here to feel nice, but not over the top. I think that that's a pretty good price tag for what you get, but let's hop back into that engine, 3.4-liter twin turbo. This has now become the high horsepower option for a lot of Toyota and Lexus products. It started life here in the Toyota Tundra, however, we've seen it migrate to the Lexus GX and LX platforms. In other areas where they used to use the V8, they now use the twin turbo V6. It makes good power, and I like driving it. Like I said, paired to it is a 10-speed automatic transmission. I think it does the job fine. It doesn't change for the TRD Rally Package at all, so nothing interesting there. It works, and that's all I need. Last but not least, this Tundra is 4-wheel drive. However, you can find base model Tundras in only 2-wheel. So how does it feel to drive the Toyota Tundra SR5 with the Rally Package? This is a big truck, maybe deceivingly so because the Tacoma looks so much like this truck. This is a very large truck. Small parking lots are an issue. So definitely keep that in mind. If you have a tiny little petite garage at home, yeah, you're not going to fit the Tundra in it. Just something to know. But otherwise, visibility is fine, and we do have a 360 camera to help out. Ride quality is decent, especially with those Bilstein shocks. It's not super fast, but it's quick enough for what a pickup truck needs to do. With that stuff out of the way, let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I have physical gauges with a screen in the center. Off to the left is my tachometer, coolant temperature, and oil pressure, and off to the right is my battery voltage, speedometer, and fuel. We do get that little information gauge in the center, and you can cycle through a bunch of different things and a bunch of different options to show you information here. This overall gauge cluster is an absolute win. I am not a fan of Toyota's digital gauge cluster. Here it is in the upper trim Tundra. I think that this is way too busy. It's too clustered up. It's hard to look at. I don't like it. These physical solid gauges are easy to read. They're so simple, and that's what a gauge cluster really should be. On the steering wheel on the left, we do have our selectors for that gauge cluster screen, as well as our volume and voice commands. And off to the right, we have our adaptive cruise, as well as skip track. You also do get that TRD badge at the bottom for the special leather-wrapped steering wheel. Off to the left, we have a giant climate control vent. We have our rear cargo light on and off, automatic high beams, auto start stop, gauge dimmer switch, odometer and trip, headlight leveler, heated steering wheel, and our rear outlet. Moving on to the door, we have our power mirrors, power locks, and power windows. And moving into the center, we get our giant infotainment display. This is the size of the TV I used to have as a kid. It is massive, and it's the first thing that people normally point out when getting into the interior of the Tundra, how big it is. It does have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It has some nice features you can swipe through. But the best thing is the camera system. Not only does it have a 360 camera, but you can cycle through a couple of different options. And you can even look at the rear cargo, which is very, very helpful. So big fan of the screen, even though it dominates most of the interior. Down below, we do have physical climate controls. Love to see that they are physical. We do get that dual zone climate, as mentioned at the top of the video, and heated seats. Again, part of that Rally package. Down below that, we have our camera view button, traction control on and off, hazard switch, rear locking differential, again, part of that Rally package, and then we have the power tailgate button. To the left, we have our auto holding brake and power parking brake. We get the shifter. It is leather wrapped and says TRD on it for that Rally package. And then down below, we have our four-wheel drive settings and our drive mode, tow mode, MTS, and crawl mode selector. Off to the right, we do get a very big cubby. Now, something missing from this cubby is the wireless charger. Upper trims will get a wireless charger in this area, and it looks like this might have it, but in reality, it does not. Then we do have cup holders. We'll do a big friggin' bottle test. And the cup holders actually have this like step down. So the one to the right is actually a bigger cup holder, and that does in fact accommodate the big friggin' bottle. Then we do have a center console. Now you can open up this little door on the top if you'd like to access it, or you can open up the entire thing. There's USB-A as well as USB-C found in here. This is the only USB-C in the front of the truck available, but plenty of storage found in the center. The seats are comfortable as well. As I mentioned, they are heated, they are Softex, and they have the orange and yellow stitching for that Rally package, which I find to be quite nice. However, speaking of seats, we do have back seats, so let's go do a back seat review. All right, so we're in the back of the 2025 Toyota Tundra, and this is beyond spacious. My knees are not hitting the seat in front of me. My head's not hitting the ceiling. I'm 5'11", not a small guy. This is an insanely comfortable and wide back seat. Absolutely love that. Now, the seats themselves are just a touch hard. Little hard, that's okay, but down below we do have two USB chargers, USB-A and USB-C, as well as a wall outlet. Cup holders, we also do get a little center console here with more cup holders. This is an absolutely wonderful back seat. Now, this isn't anything new for the Tundra. I've driven a handful of these, and all the back seats, when they are the full four-door, is very, very comfortable. So that is a huge win for the Tundra and a massive win over the Tacoma, but we'll talk about that a little bit later on. Let's hop around the very back. We'll take a quick look at the bed and cargo space, and then we'll talk about the looks. All right, around the back of the Toyota Tundra, and this is the bed space. As you'll see, we do get LED lights on either side. We do get some tie downs. Power tailgate button right in the center. Absolutely love that. And we get a better look at the bed. We also do have a wall outlet over here. Very nice to see that. But otherwise, nothing too complicated. It's nice, but nothing over the top. Kind of like the rest of this truck that we'll talk about. So reach down here, push the button, and it is a power tailgate right back up. Absolutely love that. Now we gotta talk about the looks, and obviously not a whole lot changes for the Rally package. We do have the graphics on the grille and the side, which again, I've spoken my mind. I don't think that the graphics look very good. The reason for that is that it just feels like they didn't go hard enough with the graphics. Either do a really cool graphic package or don't do one at all. This just feels like little stickers that you could buy on Etsy. However, I overall like the look of the Toyota Tundra. I think it's looked good since it came out in 2022, so that is definitely nice to see. With all of that being said, let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think driving the Toyota Tundra SR5 Rally package for the last couple of days? Well, I've really enjoyed it. I think that this truck is really solid. I think it does everything I want it to do without being overly gaudy. Do I need heated seats? No, but in 2025, it's nice to have. Do I need a 360 camera? No, but in 2025, it's nice to have. Do I need the outlet in the bed? No, but in 2025, it's nice to have. You get where I'm going with it. There's nothing overly gaudy about it. It doesn't have a giant chrome grille. It doesn't have air suspension. It doesn't have a waffle maker in the glove box. Those sorts of things that a lot of modern trucks are starting to move towards. And so that brings us to the price of $64,000. Let me pull it up here. I'm sorry, I got that wrong. It's $62,000. Fix that in editing. $62,000. In all reality, that's not bad for a full-size pickup truck. Now, because of that price, I immediately compared it to the Tacoma Trailhunter that I had a loan of earlier this year, and also the TRD Pro Tacoma that I drove down in San Diego in January. This truck is cheaper than both of those Tacomas that I drove. We're going to mainly compare it to the Trailhunter because I actually had that as a loan, where the TRD Pro I only drove for like an hour or something. It becomes abundantly clear when comparing these two trucks that whoever buys which one has certain morals, or needs, I guess I should say. If you buy the Tacoma Trailhunter, you want people to see you in your truck. It has all the goodies bolted to it. It had that rack on the back. It had the color-changing LEDs, which I do wish this truck you could change the colors of, but that would be a little unnecessary. That had the light bar in the grille. That had the big bronze wheels. And the snorkel that would sniffle every time the turbo spooled up. That is a very look-at-me truck. And so you pay a couple grand more for that than you would this truck. This truck feels more honest. It has a bell and a whistle, but that's about it. It can tow more. It's going to be a larger experience. This back seat of the Tundra is so much better than the Tacoma in every conceivable way. Not only the Trailhunter, but the TRD Pro, you can't use the back seats because of those suspension seats they put up front. This is a way more usable truck. You're going to be able to haul more with this. You're going to be able to do more truck things with this. And so, because of that price difference, it really makes you pick a side. Do you want the flashiness? Do you want your neighbors to come over and say, oh, that's a nice truck? Or do you want to actually do truck things? That's the decision that you have to make. The Tundra is here for more truck things, to do the hard work, to get the dirt under the fingernails, where the Tacoma Trailhunter is a rolling Instagram post. That truck puts its cap on backwards and sits on a chair like AC Slater. This truck wears the worn out jeans. When the soles split on this truck's boots, it reaches for the super glue instead of the credit card. That's how this truck feels at that price point. This isn't trying to make a statement, even despite its fun little stickers. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you to Toyota for loaning me this Tundra for the last week to drive. Huge thank you to Drive Shop for facilitating the cleaning and delivery of this vehicle. And of course, the Midwestern Automotive Media Association. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.